Welcome to another episode of Life and Times in Tubb City. I got a special guest dear to my heart, one of my former players, Mitch Tinsley of the Washington Commanders. Thanks for coming out, man. I appreciate you taking time out to do this for me.
Ain't no problem, coach. You know I got you. It ain't no thing.
So, Life and Times in Tubb City, I always like to have people that I knew I had a relationship with prior and just talk about their life story. So, first question is usually always, what was your first memory of interacting with me?
My first memory. Well, it would be, my first memory is probably, when I came here, for the walk-on tryout, and I met you, and it just kind of worked out perfectly. I was the only receiver here that day, and just got to see that you're a real dude. You a guy that you're a straight shooter. You're not gonna mess around, nothing like that. Not gonna beat around the bush, and that was something that kind of piqued my interest for sure.
We're gonna get to the story, but let's rewind. Let's rewind back.
Yeah.
Where you from?
So I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. So I'm not too far away from here. About 3.5 hours away. And I went to Lee Summer High School, which is like just a little suburb of Kansas City. So that's where I'm born and raised.
Okay. Met your dad.
Yeah,
he's a funny dude.
Man, character. He
Big shout out to Pops.
Yeah,
he know everybody. He knows somebody. Yeah, he know everybody.
Man, it's just, I don't know. I think it's just one of them things. You get older, you got connections everywhere. So he just got that personality. He likes talking, and people like talking to him, and I think that's just how he creates all these relationships.
Yeah. So, growing up, you grew up in Lee Summit, or?
Yeah, grew up in Lee Summit.
Okay.
Yeah, for the most part.
What was childhood like? You got a younger brother, just one brother?
I got a younger brother and a younger sister. So we all, so my brother's, he's 22, sister is 21. So we're not that far apart. But yeah, for the most part, childhood was cool. My parents, they got divorced when I was around 8 years old, so I was pretty young. But
did you understand what was going on or no?
Not. I did. I knew exactly what was going on, but I didn't know it was going to happen.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? When they said they was getting divorced, I knew what was going on, but it was kind of like a shock because they did everything pretty respectfully for the most part. They never really argued in front of us or anything like that. They might went up to their room, had their conversations or whatever, but it was nothing. Like, I just remember my mom packing her bags one day and heading to my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know why.
Yeah.
And then once because we always spent the nights over at grandparents' house, once a month during the weekends.
Yeah.
And that weekend was our weekend. And so we went over there and she told us they was getting divorced and everything. So that's kind of how that happened. But, life was real good up until that point, and then it got a little rocky. It wasn't nothing too crazy, but it was just different. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Yeah.
So, growing up, were you always into sports? Did you have to get pushed? Like, what was that like? Like youth ball, rec league, like what was that?
I was always into sports. I always had some type of ball in my hand growing up. And it's crazy because, my parents didn't play sports or nothing like that, but it was my uncle, my brother, my mom's brother, he's like 7 years younger than my mom. So I was old enough to go to his high school games when he was in high school. So he's like 16 years older than me. So I'll be able to go to his high school games. But yeah, I was always, I didn't know I wanted to be an NFL player, but I knew that I wanted to be a professional something. I just loved just seeing that stuff.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
I remember you saying, all right, coach, I want to go to the league. I was like, all right, well. Yeah. Because everybody say that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right, well, you got to do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? But you were one of the guys that, man, I can say you did it the right way, and you're a blueprint of how it should be done. You know? So I didn't know this until way later. I don't think until I talked to your dad after, you were a hooper, you were a track guy.
Yeah, so growing up, I grew up, so my first real sport I got into was football. So I got football, I cried my eyes out because they wanted to put me in flag. I said, nah, I want to go straight to tackle.
Yeah.
I was playing football all the way up to about the 8th grade. But I had all these other interests. I wanted to play basketball. My dad thought that it was important for me to run track also, so he kind of got me into that. So I was into track. Like I said, at a young age, in my head, I knew I wanted to do something. Like I had dreams of going to the Olympics. I had dreams of going to the NBA. Like it wasn't no just set, oh, I'm going to the NFL. Yeah. Like that was one of the dreams, you know what I mean? But, you know, I think, you know, as you get older, you kind of focus on what you really want.
So you're in the NFL, you've reached the pinnacle. And we hear, I mean, you went to Hutch, and we hear about all these 5-star, 4-star, these big time athletes in high school and stuff. Like we were talking about Alvin, we were talking about, you know, Jalen, and your high school experience, were you the guy?
Nah, nowhere near. I was nowhere near the guy. I don't think anybody would have thought I'd be the guy that is here. So going into my freshman year, backstory, so Drew Lock went to my high school. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Drew Lock, he was 3 years older than me. He was a senior, I was a freshman.
Okay.
So we want to talk about the guy.
He's the guy.
He the guy. He won, I forgot what they call that award. The Samoan Award, I think. It's like the best player in the Kansas City area. Okay. He was the guy. He had all these Power 5 offers. He went to the Elite 11. He was on TV.
So you got to see.
We had a whole assembly just for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, you get to see that. Like, it's just like, that's what that looks like. Like the man, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, he ended up going to Mizzou, stayed, I think his parents went to Mizzou and everything, but yeah, going to Mizzou, then going to the league. But yeah, me, I was nowhere near that guy. Yeah.
So take me through your freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Are you playing basketball, track, and football? And where are you on the hierarchy of? I'm asking this question because a lot of kids think, oh, I got to be the guy right now in order to be the guy later. So
even Little League, like I was always pretty good, like, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of the story of my life. Like I was always like, okay, he good, but he not this dude over here. Like he not that guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, like he a pretty good player. So like even Little League, I was like the second best player. You know what I mean? I'm like the second option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing that motivated me too, because it's just like I felt like I was being overlooked. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was basketball. I was decent. But yeah, I don't know, that's just kind of how it was. You know, I think that's just how people would view me, and you know, I think that's why. And we'll probably get into it later, but that's why coming here kind of gave me a fresh restart. I wasn't in Kansas City anymore.
Nobody knew you.
Yeah, nobody knew me. So like I'm coming into something unknown.
So where did I like to call it the gene, and I say that certain guys have the gene of just working hard and doing right. Where did that come from? Were you always like how you are? Were you always like that, or did something happen to be like with me? I went to D2, I went to Fort Hays.
Yep.
But I remember going, my uncle was a coach, so I would go, before my junior year, I went to Miami to train, and you got all these guys that are going in the first round, like Andre Johnson, you got Intro Roll, you know, Roscoe Parrish, like you're looking right there. So it's like, that taught me how to compete and how to work. Like what was it in you? Because it was in me, but it wasn't to the capacity. What about you?
I would say, I feel like it's in everybody, honestly, to an extent. I feel like for me, initially, you know, I remember there was a coach, he just little stuff that chips away. I remember there was a coach in high school, he was like, man, you a real great dude, man. But if I was your age, or I was in high school, you'd be the main guy. I'll go try to take your girl. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, I was just a nice guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, I feel like for me, failures had to make me toughen up.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I feel like for me, like, it was like to the point where it was like, I don't know. Like I remember, I thought I was working real hard. And, you know, I'm working the whole summer because, you know, I did summers in Alabama where my mom got remarried. She moved to Alabama.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I do summers. So I never got to do like the summer real camps for real with the high school or anything like that. So, you know, all the kids local. They all going to the summers.
Working and getting their name out there.
Getting their name in front of the high school coach. So they seeing them all summer. For me, I might have got to go to one or something like that. But for me, I'm working because I know I'm trying to play varsity by like my sophomore and junior year. And I remember my junior year, I finally made the varsity team. Boom. Made the team, right? Made the varsity team. And we going through the season. I'm not playing that much. One game, I start, boom, boom, boom. I'm doing my thing a little bit, but I had a couple turnovers. But, you know, the next week or whatever, they moved me back down to JV. And that right there, I was like, nah, man, like, it crushed me because I was like, dang, like I worked the whole summer for this. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I worked the whole summer. And honestly, I feel like looking back, I probably could have worked harder. But it's like when you don't know. When you don't know, you don't know what it looks like. Yeah, I didn't have, my dad can't afford to put, like we had enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say we was broke or nothing like that. But there was time, like I said, from like my 7th grade all the way up to like 9th or 10th grade, my dad was like working for a temp service. He wasn't even really, he didn't have no job like that. He was driving school bus. He got his class B. He was driving school bus for a little bit till right now he's driving semi. So now he's like good. But yeah, it got tight for a little bit. So it was like, it's not like,
nothing was given to you.
Nothing was given to me. So it's not like I got to see all these top athletes and I'm like, okay, that's what it looks like. You know?
So you trying to get somewhere you don't even know what it look like.
I don't even know what it looks like, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and like for me, and it's like at that point in time, I'm like, I'm like, damn, I wish somebody would just come along and be like, man, like I'll help you. I'll show you what it looked like. You know what I mean? But that's what I ended up getting. It's crazy how it all worked out. Like that's what I ended up getting in football. And my receiver coach, that's like a big brother to me. His name is Jermaine Saffold. Okay. Man, he was my trainer. He was actually my receiver coach my senior year because I only played football my senior year of high school. What? Yeah.
Yeah, your dad told me. So wait. Okay.
I stopped playing football in 8th grade because I was trying to focus on basketball. Okay. So I was doing basketball from 8th grade all the way up to the junior year. Then once they put me on JV, I finished out the basketball season, but I was like, yeah, I'm done with basketball. Like I know what I'm really talented at. And also my junior year, before basketball season started that year, I went to a football game. And I'm looking at the game. I'm like,
I can do that.
I can do that. Like, you know what I mean? I might need to put some pounds on. I was a basketball player. Like I was probably 5'10", 5'11" at that time. Like probably like 155, 160. Like I need to put weight on. But like from a skill level, I'm like, I can play out there. Like, you know what I mean? Just that thought. And as the basketball season went on and it wasn't going well, I was like, I know what I need to do. Like I need to forget about this basketball. I know like naturally football comes way easier than basketball was anyway. But like you said, I think it's all about failures, you know what I mean? I feel like them failures and all these other things like really pushed me to where I needed to be.
So your senior year comes around. You're in Alabama for the summer?
No, not that year. Cause you know, in football, you gotta be there for, you know, you train, like basically camp and all that stuff, cause that's in the summertime. So
how did that senior year go?
Senior year, didn't go the way I wanted to go. I had all these goals of these stats I was trying to get to, like so I could get noticed and things like that. But our quarterback, I think he ended up breaking his ankle or something, like starting quarterback. And then our backup quarterback ended up getting like a concussion or something. So we had a running back playing quarterback, and we was doing a lot of triple option and that type of stuff. So as a receiver, I'm not getting
you burning calories.
Yeah, and I wasn't the man in high school. There was a guy named Samaje. He was the guy. Like he junior year, like he's one of them guys. Like as a freshman, as an 8th grader, dunking. Like he just naturally talented. Like you know what I mean. Like I was in my class. That was the guy. So like he was getting a lot of the love, getting the passes and getting a lot of stuff, and I was just getting what was kind of left over type of thing. So that was pretty much how my senior year, you know, pretty much went. My receiver coach really, like I said, I met him that year, and like once the season ended, we started putting like real time in. Like,
gotcha.
I'm talking about like.
And you didn't know you didn't know what you was gonna do.
I didn't.
You didn't have no path.
I had nothing.
So you just working.
Yeah, because I'm just working, hoping that I get an opportunity. Because it's like I'm praying. I'm hoping that something falls my way. Because there was some Division II schools. So like University of Central Missouri. Okay. I went on and my receiver coach ended up getting me a tryout there. So I went and did the tryout, made the team. Or, it called me. It was like, hey, like we want you to come.
This is before or after Hutch?
This
tryout?
Is before.
Okay.
Before.
So why didn't you just go there?
Because I didn't have the ACT score.
Oh. Okay.
I had a 2.4 or a 2.4 GPA. So with that, like, that's not really good.
Yeah, you gotta have
I need a higher ACT score.
Yeah.
I got a 17 on ACT.
Nah, you need like a 20.
22 or something like that. Like, I took it twice. Crazy thing is, I got like a 17 the first time. I got like a 16 the second time. I said, yeah, I'm done with that. Because I told my dad, I'm like, I'm not gonna be with that guy that's just chasing something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be like, all right, like, because I knew school, I hate school. Like, you know what I mean?
For real?
Like, I hate it with a passion.
I never had a problem with you in school.
But that's because this is my second opportunity. Like, I'm not gonna mess it up. Like, that don't even make sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But,
so, okay, you go there. Is this in the summertime or is this still in school?
It was in the spring.
This is in the spring
of my senior year. So it's like February or March.
So the tryout was in summer for here, right?
It would have been.
It was in the spring?
It was during like, it might have been like April or May.
So it's probably like around this time right here.
Around this time.
Okay.
Because I remember, it, like I said, I think everything happens for a reason because I ended up going, we had the KU relays.
Okay, this is the story your dad told me.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
KU relays. And so, I had already, like I said, Central Missouri, like that was kind of out because, like I said, my parents can't afford to put me in school like that. Like I don't want to be in debt. Like, and I already don't like school. And so I was like, I'm just gonna go get a trade or something if I don't hear nothing.
So you were supposed to go to the relays on the same day as the tryout for here?
Yes, as the tryout for here. So it was the second day of KU relays. I went to the first day, I think it was like the 4x1 or whatever that day. The next day was like the 4x2, 4x4, or whatever relay. I was another relay. And I remember having like kind of a heart-to-heart with my dad. I was like, because I really want to go. It's the opportunity. And he was like, we going.
Going where?
Going to the tryout.
Okay,
like, he's like, you can tell all them other people, hey, sorry. Like, that's how he was. He was like, I felt so bad because I'm like, KU Relays is kind of like a big thing. Like, it's like all the best track basically stars from Kansas and Missouri all meet up.
Gotcha.
And, and it's an actual college track meet also. Like the colleges, and they had their track meet that weekend too. So it's kind of like a big thing. I was like, dang, I don't want to let nobody down because they ain't gonna be able to go. They ain't gonna be able to participate. But he kind of put it in perspective. He was like, I mean, at the end of the day, like you trying to pursue college, you trying to do these things, and at the end of the day, like they just doing this for fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and when he kind of put it that way, I was like, yeah, like. None of them really gonna be taking it serious. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm breaking any dreams or anything like that. And so for me, I felt bad still just because it was, it was just something that I think they could have did. But for me, I felt like it was important for me to be here. So, we took that 3.5 hour drive here and then the rest is history.
So you get here, literally, this weight room.
Yep, right here in this weight room. They had the little, right here, I had the little sign-in registration thing.
The table?
Yeah, the table.
Yeah.
We did the table there. I think we started off, we did bench press or something like that.
Okay.
We did like the shuttle in here.
And the vert, I think.
Yeah, the vert, and we did that. And I don't think we ran a 40 that day because it was raining and storming. So we didn't run. We didn't run that day. We just went out there, did receiver stuff.
Yeah.
And that was it. And so I left it pretty confident because I was like the feedback he was giving me and everything, it sounded like it was positive. Like, okay, like I'm doing everything he's asking me to do, like going hard. So I mean, I was just like, shoot, we'll see. And then about a week later, I don't think it was a week later, a couple of days later, you had texted me or called me, and he was like, yeah, like we want you. So Central Missouri had texted me, and it was like, what's going on with the ACT? Like, are you still planning on trying to, like, get accepted into the school? I was like, nah, I'm gonna go the JUCO route. And that's how that ended up happening.
And it's funny because, like, I try to tell people, like, you see all this Instagram and these guys doing all this stuff on the field, and man, we're gonna get these 4 cones.
Yeah.
Can you go left, right? You know what I'm saying? And we did the little drills, and Rose asked me, so what do you think? I was like, nah, I want him. He's got tools.
Yeah.
Because I just need to see a couple things, and if you can do a couple things, I can teach you the rest. If you have the basis and your body can move and you're fluid, so that, that's why, and to be clear, we asked you to walk on. It wasn't a it wasn't a scholarship.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a scholarship, but it was. I feel like I got all the, and crazy, like we was talking about earlier, that ain't even the whole thing. Like, so Butler ended up coming around, Butler Community College. They wanted to gray shirt me, so I wouldn't have been able to roll until like that second semester of freshman year. And he was like, don't do it. He was like, we're gonna give you every opportunity. We're gonna, and like I said, I was on the phone, I had my dad there and everything. It just completely switched my mind. I was like, it sounded like he being real with me. Like, he gonna give me an opportunity. He doesn't care about if I'm gonna walk on a scholarship. Like, he gonna give me an opportunity. And so, shoot, that's what when I came here, it was that.
Okay, so you choose us. You're a walk-on.
Yeah.
It's probably August. It's your first day. What are you thinking?
I know the exact day I got here. I got here July 10th. Got here.
Oh, because you came in the summer?
Yeah, in the summertime for it, so it wasn't...
Because we were working out.
Yeah, because the sophomores and maybe a couple freshmen were already here in June.
Yes.
And then I came here for the second session in July, July 10th.
What are you thinking? You get here, you see these dudes, they working out.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, because I had already done my research. Once you said I could come, I'm already doing my research. I'm like, okay, who they got there right now? So I'm looking at a couple guys. And then there was a couple dudes from my hometown who actually went here. Like, went to Hutch. So they kind of was telling me, he was like, okay, yeah, this dude named Jalen, he cold, he real cold. So I'm I'm on Huddle, looking at all the spring ball stuff. I'm like, okay, he nice. Like, I'm looking at all the guys that.
So Jalen, Jalik, Khalil was. They were sophomores, or did y'all come in together?
No. Jalen and Jalik were in the same class. Khalil.
So they were ahead of you?
Yeah, they were ahead of me.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
So I was a freshman, they were sophomores.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm coming in, I'm looking at all them guys, Keys, I'm looking at everything, so I'm just like working.
Were you intimidated?
Not necessarily. I was in a mind state that by any means I'm gonna figure it out. I don't know how, but I'm gonna work every single day. Like I said, I'm working at the time that whole spring, pretty much every day. So my receiver coach, who was at the high school, he worked for Genesis.
Got you.
So that was his second job outside of like coaching the high school. So he had me meet him. Like, and I didn't have no car in high school. I have no car in college either. But I didn't have no car in high school, so my homeboy, one of my best friends, was dropping me off at Genesis every day to work out with him. And then he would drop me. Coach Sav would drop me off at home. And then on the weekends, we getting up, running the track, and it's snowing on the ground. It's snow on the ground. We running on the track. We doing everything. I feel like that's why I feel like I'm so tight with him to this day, because he saw something in me. He's saying stuff like, man, like, shoot, when you go D1, or I know you're going to this JUCO first, but when you go ball there, go D1. He's putting all these dreams in my head, and at first I'm like, all right, like, I don't know how realistic this stuff is. Yeah. Obviously, that's where I want to get to, but it's like, that's the little seeds, just, eye-opening. It's like, dang, like, can I do it? And that's what leads to all the opportunity. Because it's like, dang, like, I might be able to do this. Especially, I get here, like you say, you asked me, like, what was my feelings? Like, I'm like, dang, like, I don't know if I belong. I know I'm pretty good, but you got these guys coming in 4 or 5 stars. We in there doing registration, and they showing their highlight tape doing in between leg dunks and stuff. I'm like, I'm pretty athletic. I can windmill. I can do a little something out there, but I ain't doing all that. Yeah, like, you know what I mean. And just like, they had offers from Florida, like Georgia, all these big schools. I barely had Division II schools that wanted to have me a walk on. Like, you know what I mean. And it's just like, from on paper standpoint, I was like, I don't know what I got myself into. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? But when we get on the field, you realize that all that hype and stuff don't matter. Like, you either real or you not. Yeah. It's just that simple.
You brought this up earlier when we was talking, the first meeting.
Oh, yeah. You kept it real with us, though. You was like, I don't care if you like us, if you like me. He was like, the door is right there. He was like, obviously I wanna have a good relationship with all of you, but the best is gonna play, and it's that simple. And I was like, all right. At first, it's a little intimidating because you're expecting like, all right, like, hey, guys, like, I'm glad y'all here. I'm glad everybody made it.
Yeah.
I've seen people, after a week or two, people that, and I'm 3.5 hours away, so it's like I could, realistically, my dad could pull up and I can get all my stuff and go home. Like it'd be that simple. But there's people from Georgia, South Carolina, like Florida, like, I just saw y'all parents. Y'all just flew here. And they moving you in, going to Walmart, getting all your stuff.
TVs.
Yeah, TVs and all that. And you gone in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't wrap my head around that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sure everybody has their reasons or whatever, but in my head, I don't just give up or quit. Like, just that easy. Like, in my head, I'm just like, my dad dropped me off here, and I just know if I told him I'm coming home, he gonna be on my ass.
Yeah.
He gonna be on my ass because I've been wanting this opportunity. So what I look like saying, nah, I don't want it no more, or it's too much. Like, nah, I'm gonna figure it out.
Did you, whether it was from me, any other coach, players, how did being here help you prepare for the next level?
It just made me see that all the things I want are right there, like, honestly, because, come from Kansas City, like, we don't really got too many people that's like big time, or like people that, like, we have maybe a few people that make it to the league or whatever.
It's not like Atlanta.
Yeah, it's not like, you know what I mean? Like, you go to Florida and or California or Texas, like, you got Kyler Murray and all these guys that are stars in the league. We got people that made it or, that, did all right, doing good for themselves. But, for me, that's still my goal right now. That's what I'm chasing right now. I want to be that guy, like, to show that it's not like, yeah, it's tough to get here where I'm at, but, like, you can do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's my, like, for kids here, kids back in Kansas City, like, y'all can be, all them guys y'all seeing on TV, y'all can be them. You know what I mean? It's just, I feel like it's more of a blueprint there in Texas or whatever. Because it's like, I seen so-and-so do that. Like, I seen how he worked. I seen, like, you know what I mean? I see his statues and pictures. And that's, like, why it was kind of important coming here. I'm seeing all these All-Americans on the wall.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. And then people telling stories of, like, okay, this guy was a walk-on. He ended up being an All-American. And I'm like, you know what I mean?
Quan Bowman.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, why not me? Why not? If I put the work in and focus on the detail, because I was pretty raw too. Like I said, I only played my senior year. I ain't played since Little League.
And so, I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I was telling you, like
I had some abilities.
Yeah, I told all of you guys, like, be prepared, know a lot of positions. Did you think, I mean, it was right here. First game, you're a true freshman.
Yeah.
Walk on, and you get in the game.
I get in the game. Because at that point, like, I didn't get redshirt, so I was good enough to travel and be on the team, like, everything. And I was just doing special teams, so I was like, all right, like, cause I was at that point I was like second string, but like, we was kind of run heavy offense too, so a lot of 12 personnel, like, you know what I mean. So for me, I wasn't really planning on getting on the game. Like, I was like, I'm ready if they throw me in, but like, and I know all the plays and everything, I'm good, but I'm like, I'm just gonna be on special teams. It's like, shoot, like, I'm wait my turn. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a freshman, the guys are sophomores, they trying to get their offers and stuff. So, but yeah, he threw me in the game. It was like second, I don't know what quarter it was.
I think it was third down. Yeah. You caught a one-handed curl or something, man.
Yeah. I think it was a pivot route. It was a pivot route. And it threw the ball real high. And I said, I don't know when I'm gonna get another opportunity. I went up to go get it, one-handed, boom, scraped up my knee real good too. But nah, yeah, that was my first catch at college. Was
that like a?
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm glad I got that out the way.
Want to save your HOA money on your home services while enjoying the benefits of living in a community? PIN Plus, the ultimate platform that brings neighbors together under one powerful concept: power in numbers. Communities can now negotiate group discounted pricing on essential home services, trash, pest control, pool maintenance, and so much more, all at unbeatable rates. Transform your home service experience today. Visit www.pinplus.com mypinplus.com today for more information.
All right.